Football seasons like this will do it to you, Phil. But man, in my career, when Carolina's, since we started Big Spur 18 years ago, Carolina's had a down season. A lot of times the coaching was, let's say, not good enough to overcome the talent deficiencies the team faced. And that it was a mixture of things. Now, sometimes it was a lot of coaching. Sometimes it was more just you didn't have the players, right?
Yeah.
And that all goes into a bad year. This year, surprisingly enough, it's 100% or 97% coaching. Players have gotten, your star player gets worse.
Well, there are no glaring roster deficiencies on the offensive side of the ball, right? Other than maybe a position or two, you're like, well, you could have definitely upgraded there. But beyond that, you're right. I mean, and even then, it didn't have to be perfect for this team to actually have a very successful year. Like truly to repeat what happened last year.
If you look at how the games have been competitive.
Yeah.
But the most terrible thing relative to the topics on the show, Phil, and I posted this on the Big Spur about an hour ago. Check this out. Mike Shula, as the OC here, Carolina, when he called plays, had a 3-7 record, which is bad. That's a 7.
That's not good.
You're losing 70% of the time. And that's one thing. The other thing is when you look at the wins. Look at the wins. South Carolina in the 3 wins when he was calling plays, Virginia Tech, SC State, and Kentucky, had 6 non-offensive touchdowns in those football games. 6.
Yep.
So even in the wins, whoo. Also,
but one of them would have been a loss, right? Like the opener
would not have been a loss. South Carolina State would have been a closer.
Would have been a nail biter.
17-10 win. Kentucky would not have been a loss either.
No, none of them would have been losses, but they all would have been tight.
They would have been, and it makes it look. Yeah, it was inevitable that this happened, and so hopefully that Nana Sports chat box, by the way, which is not terrible today. Doc mentions pro scouts look at things differently than fans. They look at things differently than college coaches too. They're their own breed. Lauren mentions Sellers under immense pressure, and that can mess with anyone. Yeah. Clint says, who is quarterback coach now? Probably Davis Cutter, son of Dirk Cutter.
Son of Dirk.
He joined the staff. Gosh, I guess he maybe knew Joe D. He was at Texas as a grad assistant or something. And he took, like Shula took Logan's place, and Davis took and because his dad was in there, he may have known Mike Shula too. They may have worked together. I don't know the exact connection, but he was at Texas with Sark, and now he's at South Carolina. And so I'm assuming he's going to slide into that role. So Bruin says Shula had him doing things different, JC. If you want to know who and what happened, ask. I know what I was told, but who am I? You're Bruin. We want to know. Tell me.
Yeah, right. I mean, you're involved.
I'd love to know. Love to know. Tell me what you've been hearing, my man. And Bruin says he had a conversation Sunday with someone. There's some things that are inexcusable. Cam says winning football games more important than developing quarterbacks. Yeah, developing that. Now, this is interesting, Cam, because you're right. You're spot on. I would add for the NFL.
Right.
And it's just like I said, it doesn't matter. If you've got experience in a pro style, they're not going to care.
No.
X-Man says, what's the word on Aaron Nolan? Well, everybody's right. He hadn't been able to run the offense, but you got a new offense now, so it's a new day for Air.
That's very good.
It
might be work right. Yeah, he might have
can't seem to read a playbook. Yeah, well, who the hell can? Doc says all water under the bridge now. I got to find a way to get as many wins as we can these last 3. Because if you drop all 3, it's a whole different issue at year's end with Beamer. Yeah, it is. Like I said, it can always get worse. That's why, I right now, there's no head coaching change that's going to happen at South Carolina. No. But things can always get worse, and they can turn in a heartbeat, man. And you never know what exactly the powers that be are thinking. And the feedback I've gotten in that end. And I'm not talking about the AD. I'm talking about the powers that be.
Right. Yeah.
And there are different factions of those groups, right? So, you don't really know who's the
pull the strings.
There's only so much you're going to tolerate institutionally too. Around the University of South Carolina, movers and shakers, they do not like losing to Coastal Carolina in any sport. There's a little bit of some bad blood there. So Frederick is something like Kyle Shanahan or McVay. Is that has to do with who he's going to play for?
Oh.
Paul says, do you think Aaron Nolan will transfer? I think it's possible. It's always possible a quarterback will move on. So there's that. Doc says, hey, don't let the chat interrupt TV talk. And then Cam mentions in the Murdaugh thing, they love showing Murdaugh in his Carolina shirt.
So,
Tiffany, rumors are getting out of hand. Random Twitter reporting Beamer has reached out to Brian Ferentz. That's just somebody trolling you, man.
That can't be
totally trolling everybody.
That cannot be true.
Yeah. Now there is a rumor on the Big Spur that I'll bring up. I'll die. I not literally die, but I'll die a death on the inside. Part of me will die if this happens. That Kurt Roper, and this poster, to his credit, he's not a rumor monger. And he did know, I think when the Loggins hire, one of those hires,
he was on it, huh?
He was on it. Now, dude, if he hires Kurt Roper, I think everybody's that's it,
Kurt Roper 2.0 is not going to fly with this fan.
Look, and I don't really care what Kurt Roper's doing at NC State. I mean, it is impressive. It's been good. I don't care. I just don't care. There's other guys that are just as good or better than what he's doing this year. Go in a different direction. I know what he did when he was here. I know kind of what he's all about. Good person. Not really this, we want to talk about a dramatic departure from docile Mike Shula, and a guy that's kind of he blew up the headset a few times, almost up to the line of, hire Bobby Petrino if you want to hire somebody.
If you want, right, yeah.
That would be.
How about we should just preclude anyone who's ever held a job here before as a coordinator?
Yeah,
and start there.
Yeah. So,
there are plenty of options out there.
Clint's having chicken and spinach with jasmine rice. Good job, man.
Yeah.
I had a nice, healthy Greek salad with chicken for dinner last night after the gym. One day, and I feel like I'm Richard Simmons all of a sudden. Come on, guys. Come on and sweat, and left and right. And yes, oh my God. Oh, Phil.
Tell me the inseam of your shorts was a little longer, though.
Like that dang kicker from Oklahoma. My God.
Dude.
I thought it was
showing some thigh. I was like, what is
Kirk Herbstreit does this? He's like, Kirk Herbstreit basically just says this has to be a penalty.
This has to be a penalty.
And then he was dead serious. This has to be a penalty for even dressing.
Fowler with the call after it's good on the second one. He was like showing some thigh and showing that leg. Another foul, like, holy bum, y'all.
Cam asked if they're going to let Beamer make the decision. Yeah, athletic directors don't. The good ones, if you want to have a good one. Now, if you want to have somebody that's not good, the AD, what he's going to do. And Donati's not a coach, so I don't know what he's going to, he's probably got not much less feedback than maybe the former AD. You let the head coach hire coaches. You provide them with the money for their plan to fix it. If you don't want to do that, you need to fire them. Simple as that. That's their job. Give them the resources to succeed. Do your job. Be supportive. If they don't do their job, fired. That's it. There's no coach of a coach. Even Tanner didn't do that. But Tanner was a good sounding board as far as coaching advice, and most coaches down there say that. So those of you that are under the impression that all of a sudden there's this new sheriff in town and they're going to start micromanaging all this and, go in and erase bad assistant coaching decisions, and you've got another thing coming. And I've told you that from the start.
Yeah.
And I hate to be right about it because I know some of you get excited and are looking for hope. The new AD will save us. No, there's no AD coming to save you. I've said that from the start too. ADs are not saviors. ADs give the coaches the resource to succeed, make good hires. And if they're not good hires, you fire them. And if you make too many bad ones, you get fired. That's it. Or if you're Scott Woodward and you piss off the governor, you get fired.
You get fired. That's right. But you've left a wake, just this trail of IOUs in your wake.
Yeah. Jay Frew says, ready to watch something other than football for a day. Tiffany says, curious to see what Fury and Elliott can do these last 3 weeks. Yeah, I'm curious to see too. Look, man, may look good. There may be some things that look better. I'm trying to think. The 2 times Carolina's changed play callers here within the season, not talking bowl. Gosh, the only 2 times I can remember were defense in 05, and it worked. Spurrier was like, he had co-coordinator. He's like, we're going to let Tyrone Nix call the defense now, and demoted John Thompson. And the defense got better. Thinking through it. Now, Spurrier sometimes would hand off play calling.
I was going to say, can you count the Spurrier and the junior?
That's a different level.
Yeah.
That's a different thing.
Hell, that was in game.
I'm trying to think of the other time play calling wise that it happened here. Yeah. Okay, so 15. When Spurrier resigned,
you're left, right? Yeah.
GA, because they were doing the 3-headed, kind of 4-headed monster thing, where the head man would call some. They just gave it to GA. That offense too got a lot better, if you remember correctly. We've seen it, dude. I saw it at Arkansas a couple of years ago. They got rid of Dan Enos, who was kind of too complex, and they go down to Florida. Rocket Sanders hadn't done boo all year. He goes down there and runs for 106 yards. KJ Jefferson's on fire, and they outscore the Gators at the Swamp. And got a surprising road win. We saw what happened at UCLA this year.
Yeah.
Don't know what LSU will look like. I thought Florida actually did more things that made sense. They're still sort of pedestrian on offense, but they were a little more aggressive, a little more wrinkles against Georgia after the play caller was gone. That was Billy Napier. So most of the time you look around and sometimes it works. Now, unfortunately, you're not playing Coastal Carolina this weekend. You're playing Texas, or next weekend you're playing to A&M at Kyle Field. The only saving grace for that, Phil, is that it's a early kickoff. Sometimes
that's right.
Favorites and early kickoffs don't do all that well.
That's all right. Hopefully the defense will do their job and the offense will take 1-2 steps forward and it'll be a game.
Yeah. Tiffany says if it's not the playbook and just what and how it's called, maybe something could be salvaged. Oh, it's definitely the playbook's kind of, you have the same thing in just same plays in every playbook. You may call them something different. I think, I don't know what the play call terminology was, because one of the differences between Marcus Satterfield and Dowell Loggins was this. Loggins did not have a lot of terminology, right? You've heard the old John Gruden zip butterfly 4-time X, Peyton Manning, those guys, the NFL style. Loggins didn't have that. My understanding is Shula may have put some of that back in that because that's what he's used to. Here's what we call this play. I would just call them 1A, 1B.
That's right.
Or use those like Clemson used to do. Like, hey, they have my permission to use this picture of Mayor McCheese on their board.
Where they hold up, you could use my likeness. Yeah, listen, Mad Dog too.
Bill, Mad Dog, Mayor McCheese. They hold up a thing and so they call out a sequence, and it's just like playing bingo. You kind of look, okay, and you get it. So,
JC and Mad Dog Mully on the Gamecock Show.